Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Research and Innovation, a podcast where we bring you stories of groundbreaking research shaping our future. I'm your host, Priscilla Mafa. We were joined by an accomplished chemist and researcher, Dr Zinyama, and Mr. Wakonda on sign language desk. Dr Zinyama's work sits at the intersection of drug discovery, medicinal chemistry, and environmental sustainability. Coming to you, Dr. Zinyama, welcome to the program. And can you tell us about yourself?
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm a chemist by training. All right, so today I'm working at the intersection of data science and chemistry. So what intrigued me was why is the drug discovery process long?
Okay.
You know, it takes 15 years and more than $1 billion to get a drug from the lab to the patient.
Okay.
And so I thought I would want to come in and shorten that time. And so my work as a drug discovery researcher aims at reducing the time in discovering drugs for breast cancer. So this led me to cheminformatics. Cheminformatics is working with data and computational tools to try and do informed decisions on which chemical compounds can be successful drugs.
Okay, that's interesting.
So alongside lecturing and working within a research group here at Midland State University, I'm also focusing my research on how AI can accelerate chemistry, because this is where we are having exciting breakthroughs.
That's a remarkable journey, Doctor, and it really shows how your passion for chemistry has evolved into impactful research. And Doctor, I understand you were nominated for the RCZ Female Researcher Award. May you elaborate on the research that you got this nomination?
All right. The research I was nominated for is focusing on the use of AI for identifying promising breast cancer drug candidates more efficiently. So the traditional method is looking for tens of thousands of chemical compounds that we experiment with in the lab to see if we can identify just one that works. But then now we are now using existing chemical and biological data to try and spot patterns.
Okay.
Yes. We see which features would more likely to become useful in medicine. And so then we work from there to prioritize the best options which can then be experimented on, thus reducing cost and time.
That's outstanding. So how will the research you were nominated for speak to policy influence this RCZ Female Researcher Award?
It can influence policy, well, by improving how decisions towards research priorities and health investment can be done. We move towards evidence-based decisions rather than just assumptions and habits. You know, the drug discovery policy in most African countries is based on assumptions.
Okay.
That we're going to import solutions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now this work challenges that. We are saying if we can demonstrate that AI-assisted drug discovery is viable here, using local researchers, using local data, using local patient needs in mind, then we are presenting a strong case to say investing in domestic research infrastructure would be the way to go, and not just procurement. You see, breast cancer drugs that we are using right now, their data mostly reflects on Western populations.
Okay.
Yet the picture is different. We have young cancer patients that are presenting their cancer late, and that cancer is aggressive. So now, if we are to come in and develop AI systems that can identify these unique data patterns and input them in the drug discovery pipeline, then I'll say we do not want to miss this window. We need to take advantage of it and make sure that we discover drugs that respond to our patient needs.
Yeah, that's very insightful. And that link you just shared between research and policy is so important, especially when it comes to improving the healthcare systems. So, as a drug discovery scientist, how do you intend to keep your research going? That is, what is your sustainability research strategy? For example, are you maybe in collaboration with local researchers in the community or maybe in the country or internationally?
True. Sustainability means building work that outlives one project or else one researcher. So it means I have to be active to make sure that I get collaborations with local researchers, local institutions, even international institutions, and even the community in which the research is meant to serve. Yes. So it means the hospitals within the country, research universities within the country, all these work best when we are trying to make sure that our drug discovery is responding to patient needs. And I also see mentorship as a big part of sustainability.
Yes.
Because when we train students, when we train early career scientists, the skills and the momentum stay within the system. So the ultimate goal is to make sure that the work goes on beyond me.
Yeah, that's true. I also believe that collaboration and sustainability are definitely key when it comes to ensuring a long-term research impact. So what are some of the challenges do you usually encounter during your research, and how do you address them?
Right. So one of the biggest challenges is data quality and accessibility. AI is only as good as the data that we feed it. And so when we look at African cancer population, very thin. And so when we're trying to work with that data, yes, it's in the pipeline, it's coming up, but we're going to be slowed down a bit. And then secondly, we have the perception challenge. When I tell someone that I'm using AI in drug discovery, they say I'm watering down the rigor of science. But then I always emphasize the opposite, that chemistry still has to hold up. So we still consider chemistry, we still validate our findings in the lab. And then lastly, the challenge that we have is to try and test our computational predictions. And know at times we are resource limited. And so then collaborations now kick in, be they local or international. We then come up with useful validations to make sure that our predictions are useful.
Those are very real challenges, especially the perception one. So if the research goes the way you hope, what does breast cancer drug discovery look like in Africa? Maybe, let me just say maybe in 20 years.
True. First, I would expect far more locally led research, where we are seeing African scientists, universities, hospitals, shaping the questions, the research questions, and then developing treatments that reflect our population and our health systems.
Absolutely.
And then secondly, I hope to see a stronger capacity across the pipeline, where we have trained scientists, we have data scientists, trained researchers, better equipped labs, clearer regulatory pathways, sustained funding, a lot has to come through to promise that the ideas that we have are going to move from the computer to the clinic. Ultimately, the goal is not just to participate in global drug discovery, but it is to contribute meaningfully, bring in African insights and African experiences into medicine that benefit patients everywhere.
Wow, it's exciting to actually imagine the kind of transformation in the next, 2 decades. So how can the community at large, both in Zimbabwe and even beyond, get in touch with you?
Yes, I am always happy to connect with people who are interested in research, collaboration, or simply learning about this field. Well, the easiest way is to follow my work on LinkedIn, where I frequently share my updates. So we use Dr Zinyama. Okay. So I'll spell that NGCEBO and Zinyama. So using the LinkedIn hyperlink. And then for more formal academic and research inquiries, people can get in touch with me through my institutional email, and that's zinyama@staff.msu.ac.zw. So I would like to add this, that we are at an encouraging stage where the models that we have come up with are showing promise, and we have already done preclinical validation. Okay. And so what we are predicting from the computer is working somehow. We are showing, we are getting the response in preclinical studies. But then we're not going to stop there. We would want to translate this research to make sure that we do more preclinical studies and even move to the clinic. So at the end, this will translate to saving. It's going to save time, but then better outcomes yet. We have drugs that respond to our patient needs.
Wow, that's great. And so, Doctor, coming to you once again, I do believe that I indicated before that your work sits at the intersection of drug discovery, medicinal chemistry, and environmental sustainability. So maybe your last words, what do you have to say maybe out there for other researchers that are watching right now, or even for, students pursuing, such researchers like yours? What do you have to say to them?
Well, thank you so much. First of all, I would want to appreciate the time and effort as well as the opportunity, because conversations like this work best when the scientist is at the table. And so this is part of my role, coming out there to engage publicly and help shape them. So I'm saying I am here. I'm ready to collaborate, be it established researchers or those who want to take up this kind of research through. So I am available and I'm ready to connect.
Yeah, maybe let me just say, as someone who goes into the field, you have encountered a number of situations, you have encountered some of the things that you think they need to be improved maybe by researchers like you. What do you think there is, maybe when it comes to, especially GAPES, what do you think other researchers like you watching right now need to improve, especially when it comes to the issue of researchers, particularly in your field?
I have briefly touched on it. In terms of data,
yes. Mm-hmm.
When I was saying for us to harvest our efforts, we have to make sure that the work we are doing is benefiting our people.
Yes.
Because most of the times we are seeing issues of recurrence. Someone is giving standard therapy, but then the cancer is going to recur. Mm-hmm. And then the challenges that are there is most of the time the data which might point out to cancer subtypes might not have been captured initially in the treatment regime. And so when we are working or when we are doing our research, it would be good to take that extra effort to make sure that we harness information that pertains to the local cases, so that whatever efforts that we are doing are seen. So not relying on data that is available widely, but that does not speak to our communities and our realities. That's what I would encourage other researchers.
I hope this conversation opens up opportunities for collaboration. Hello, once again, this is yet another episode of the Research and Innovation podcast. In case you are just joining us, where we bring you stories and groundbreaking research shaping our future. Once again, I'm your host, Priscilla Mafa. I was joined by Dr Zinyama and Mr. Rwakonda on the sign language desk. Thank you.